Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Samurai Schultz, and welcome to HATENDR. Um, just try to build. Didn't work. Let's see what's going on. So let's see. We have vitality. Okay. So here it says, too many arguments for function like macro invocation. Do rep lifetime underscore condition. Shucks. Well, actually, before I really get into this, I want to touch on an interesting experiment that I've been doing for the past 3 to 4 nights. 4 nights, actually. So, I think it started about. It would have to be Monday night that I started this. I went to bed pretty late, between the hours of 2 and 3. And I woke up at around 8:30, 9, which is not a lot of sleep, right? I mean, that's only like 7 hours max. Um, and I found it interesting because I felt fine. No, actually, wait. I think this might have started. No, wait. Oh, this started last Friday night actually, because I went to bed pretty late, and I had to work on Saturday. And whoops, let me silence my phone here. And I had to work on Saturday, and I was like, man, I only got 4 hours of sleep. I hope I can make it through today. And I felt invigorated. I felt great. I felt awesome. And I think I had a Red Bull that day. I'm not sure. And then the next day, I got more sleep and I felt worse. So I kind of kept going with that. And I tried to replicate that. And it's been kind of working. So not just this last night, but the night before, I slept for about 5 or 6 hours. Felt awesome yesterday. Even though it was cloudy, felt felt great. I took some vitamin D too. I had a Red Bull. Had one about this size. This is 12 fluid ounces. Yeah. Uh, felt great. I got so much done yesterday. And today, or last night, I went to bed around 3-ish. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, I bet I could do the thing where I could just that I've been doing where I just open my eyes and let the sunlight, touch my eyeballs and wake me up, because that's usually that's not usually, but that's how I've been waking up for the past few days. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually try to get more sleep. I'm gonna see what happens, because this is very odd. This doesn't make sense to me. So I slept in. So instead of waking up at 8:30, I slept in until about 10, and felt awful. Felt awful. I'm still kind of feeling it right now. I feel very irritated. My back hurts. My head hurts. I feel less motivated. I definitely feel less joyful than I've been feeling the past few days. So I guess 5 to 6 hours it is then, because wow. I've been kind of going back and forth. I used to think that, oh, I need 9 hours. I need 9 hours. If I get any less than 9 hours, I'm just dead, kaput. Turns out I just need to actually have a balanced lifestyle. And Red Bull has been doing it for me, and taking a vitamin D. 5,000 international units, and then drinking lots of water. I've been drinking more water lately. Getting more sunlight in the morning versus looking at my phone, which is why I have the blinds open when I go to sleep. Yeah. So now I know, I guess. I'm not gonna do that again. Okay, anyways. Enough sleep talk. Let's fix this. Let us. Too many arguments for function like macro invocation. Excuse me. Okay, well, in order to fix that, I'm going to go back and look at Mr. Ulabari's lecture. What am I missing? Okay, do rep time. Oh! I did the wrong thing. There we go. Because it notifies. Dedoy. So we're going to replace each of those with the. Whoops. That's the dangers of using autocomplete. You mess up. Okay, now let's try our Control-Shift-B and see how this builds. I bet it's gonna work. It's gonna work so good. Yes. Yes. Okay. Attribute accessors. Need a function, well, basically a getter function, except it's a macro. And a macro is different. A macro is just a repeated line of code, but a function is a callable something. I don't know. That's semantics. Doesn't matter. I don't need to know how it works. I just need to know how to use it. How use it. And if problems come up later, Copilot, baby. That's what I got. In all seriousness, though, I do need to be better about knowing what I'm doing. So I'm not weak. I don't want to be weak. I don't know why I didn't compile yesterday. That was kind of dumb. But anyways, the plan for this stream is to work on my gas system a little bit, and then I'm going to switch branches. And I'm going to work on the control rig again. Because we finished the Scorpion, that's fully done, but I have not worked on the human at all. Need to work on that. Actually, I might need to download some things, so I'm not sure if that will work, because I'm streaming, obviously, so that'll be taking up bandwidth, but we will see. We will see. Okay. Okay, I'm actually going to... I know you guys can't see this. I'm just going to put in a quick commit. Let's see. Attributes. Props. It's going to be lifetime rep props. I'm just going to and I'm just going to say changed, or let's see, called different, or sorry, corrected macro called? Okay, we're gonna commit, and I'm just gonna push that because that is super small. Super duper small. And it's already done. Already pushed through. Okay, let's. Getters and setters. Gameplay. Wait. Gosh, I am typing so badly. I definitely feel less focused too. Gameplay attribute value. Oh. There's also an air quality alert for unhealthy for sensitive groups. And I am definitely of that demographic. I just I've always been sensitive to all that smoke coming from Canada. Happened back in 2023. I couldn't even I was way more sensitive to it back then. Like I couldn't even go to work because it was so bad for me. Yeah, let's do this. Wood creates. Well, let me fix that for you. This defines a set of helper functions for accessing and initializing attributes. Okay, that's pretty handy. So it probably, yeah, it just takes, all it does is it takes in the attribute. It's going to initialize it or init it. Setter, getter, property getter. I'm not sure what the difference is. Value getter, property. Oh, class name, property name. Class name. I don't know what the difference between those is. And then we have a define macro class. Oh. I'm still not sure. He'll probably go through it. I'm sure. Oh, wait. Yeah, duh. Here's some. Wait. Oh, wait. No, these are different. I thought that these were examples of that. Doesn't make any sense. They come before. Anyways, this defines a set of helper functions for accessing and initializing attributes to avoid having to manually write these functions. That would be a pain. It would create the following functions for attribute health. Okay. Okay. So the difference between these two. So the difference between, yeah, getting health attribute versus getting health is you're getting a new. So the first one gets an object which has multiple traits associated with it, or multiple variables in this case, I would suppose. Uh, and then with get health, you're just getting a numerical value. Because health, that's what it is at its base level. It's just a numerical value. My camera is facing too far over that way. That's too far. All good. Okay, there we go. Let's keep going. But yeah, so just to be clear, the attribute. Sorry, no, not that. This get health attribute. That would the health attribute includes the current value of health, but it also includes the base value. Base value is like just think of it as the default value, the starting value for health. Hmm. Wait, we need to delete these. Why? I like them. I like those being there. I'm not going to delete those. I would never. We're gonna delete. Oh, I see. Wait, whoops. Those are supposed to be there. Wait. So he's telling me to do that. Wait a second. Attribute accessors. This is gonna be you. How to attribute set. Vitality. Huh. Okay. Okay, now it's highlighted because we're actually using that. Right, because we're using attribute accessors. But that's in attribute set.h. I don't understand. I do not understand. Okay, actually, 1 second. I need to go do my daily restroom run. So I will be right back. Now I'm back. There we go. Just had to remove that. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we were trying to figure out these attribute accessors. No. Whoops. There we go. I'm trying to figure out what the point of this is, because I think it's. So Steven is saying it's boilerplate for just making each attribute accessible, I think. Yeah. For accessing and initializing attributes. Okay. But question is. Oh, okay. So this is the definition. This is what you actually use. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So we can initialize these. So if we do, we can initialize health inner.f. That's not right. How do we do that? I don't understand. How did we do that? Oh, we need to put that in there. Then, okay. So now just do health and then max health. And we're good to go. Okay, now we can see that. All right. Right, okay, this. So okay, so right now we have 6 attributes, right? We have vitality, health, max health, soul, intuition, and max intuition. So we have the attribute class stat, as I like to call it. And then we have the hard stat, which is what I like to, which that's how we refer to the attributes that change the most often and are basically consumables, right? Health is a consumable. Your stamina is a consumable. You're going to be constantly gaining it and regenerating it, like way more frequently than you would just like leveling up. Unless you're really bad at the game and you die a ton. Well, even then, you're still going to lose a lot of health. Unless you insta-kill yourself. Then they would be equal. Okay, anyway. Let us leave. This better work. Okay. Didn't even need to threaten it. That's good. Okay, so if we press play, then hopefully it won't crash. Because if it does, good. Okay. Debug, ability, system. You should be able to see that at the bottom. Wait, can you guys see that? Oh, you can't? No, 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 never mind. You guys can't. Okay. So I'm going to type it here then. Debug. No. You guys can't see it. That's so bad. So for some... I'm typing it right in here. I'm just typing debuggability system. Why doesn't... Ah, man. OBS and Unreal Engine just... They're like... They're like Alabama cousins. They screw around, but then afterwards they... Just gonna stop talking. That's not even the right one. Show debuggability system. That's what I typed in, okay? Just gonna have to believe me. I'm actually gonna... Show debug. I swear, if you guys can't see... No freaking way. It doesn't even show it... There's a whole thing on screen. And I need you guys to see this. This is extremely important. This is super, super important. And you guys can't even see it. This is so stupid. Hold on. I can't believe this. This is so stupid. Okay, so if I do that, you guys can see it. Hold on. Okay, I'm using a different source to capture this. Ah, this is a pain. Okay, we're on the world, right? Hopping around. If I do tilde key, it allows me to enter in some commands. So I'm gonna do show debug. Oops, show debug ability system. Now it's super small, and I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you're not watching this on your phone. If you are, I will just read it off anyways. So right now there's a bunch of stupid text at the top, and it tells us what my device is. It tells us the controller. It tells us the pawn. It says our state is playing the game. We are playing actively right now. Let's see. Tells us our location, rotation, instigator. But below that, I'm just gonna move away actually. That's too distracting. But below that, it tells us what ability tags or gameplay tags have been blocked, as in we're taking in their input. Okay. And it's our 6 gameplay tags that we just made, or 6 attributes. So we have vitality, health, max health, soul, intuition, and max intuition. We've initialized one of them. So for vitality, it reads 0.00, health 100.00, and then 0.00 for the rest of them. Right. So when we use that command, it's going to tell us what each of those attributes are. And that's helpful for debugging if we want to see how they are changing throughout the course of the game. And if we don't have UI in place to be able to see that data. And actually, our next section is going to be about making the heads-up display, the health and the mana, I guess, for the character. And we're going to be using this a lot to make sure that, to make sure that our UI is lining up with those values. But anyways, that's enough of that. Let's get back to this. Okay, it should be popping up. Okay, anyways, we're gonna get back to that. And Yeah. It's just going to be yapping a little bit about what I just talked about. Just yapping. Okay. Yeah, let's actually. Mm-hmm. Get soul, intuition. Okay. Yeah, let's initialize here. We're going to init intuition. That's not easy to read. And we'll just initialize it to the same amount. I'm gonna compile. Okay. Gross. I don't want that there, actually. One moment. Ah, disgusting. I hate my bodily functions. Not actually, though. I'm fine. I'm fine, guys. I'm okay. It's a joke. Joke. Joking. Joking. It's okay to joke about every once in a while. Okay, so it should be... Yes. So, health and intuition are both at 100. This is good. Wow. Now, this is, actually, wait, did you guys even see that? I might not have switched correctly. Hopefully I switched. Here, I'll just do it again. Show debug. Ability system. Wow. If you look super closely, on the left of the viewport, which is the actual game screen, health and intuition are at 100.00. Wow, okay. Gosh, I sound so salty today. Holy crap. I gotta chill. I don't need to be so irate. Can't really help it though. I just do not feel that great today. Anyways, what I was trying to say was this is not a modular way to set this up because there's just if we do it here, that's going to be a lot of attributes. It's going to end up being like yay long. It's going to be like 50 lines in the constructor, which is not ideal. So instead of doing that, we're going to make object pointers to sub attribute sets essentially. So we'll have like some we'll have an attribute set for our actual like class attributes, or I just call them attributes in my design. So that would be soul, power, intellect, and vitality. So there will be a blueprint that initializes those four, as well as their max attribute counterparts. Then there's going to be a set for the sub attributes, so like salubrity, healing, iron blood, and then there's one called browbeat, etc. And then there's going to be one for the hard stats like health and intuition and concentration and stamina. So, yeah, that's kind of how that's going to work. And it makes it just easier to categorize them instead of having 50 lines of code. And we have to be like, oh, okay, which one of these? So, yep. And he's actually going to do, okay. I'm actually going to, wow, that was a 12-minute lecture, and it took me 40 minutes to get through it. Making good time. Good time. Yeah, so again, it takes like... It takes a lot of setup. I get that, but... man. His lectures are just a little too dense. I don't want to eat the whole loaf of bread. I just want a little slice. Maybe with some peanut butter. And then I want to be done. And then move on to the next slice. I don't want a whole toasted loaf, Mr. Ulibarri. Just a toasted slice. Okay, anyway. Yeah, okay, that's still showing correctly. But anyways, he actually initializes some other attributes, and I'm going to go along. I'm going to play his game. I'm going to initialize that to 100. I'm going to change this to 50, just so when we do our UI, we can see, it's at max, or sorry, it's at half, and that's at half. They match up, or they don't match up. Oh my gosh, I'm never sleeping yet again. Oh, I had my Red Bull today too, and I just feel tired. Was yawning so much this morning. Okay. So there's that. We are going to play in the editor, show debug ability system, and we have health at 50, max health at 100, intuition at 50, max intuition at 100. Good, 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 good. Oh, another reason why it's not ideal to have this is, what if one attribute that I'm initializing depends on another? Then you have to write out a rule within here. And so instead of a line for each attribute, it could be like an average of 3 lines per attribute. And there's like it's like 50 attributes. There's like 60 attributes in my game. There's gonna be so many. So, and there's ones that I definitely haven't even accounted for yet, like fire damage, strength, or whatever. So, like, it's just gonna be way, way too much. So that's why we're gonna fix it up. Yeah, we're making an effect actor this time to change our attributes when we touch it or overlap with it. Nope. Mix back. My bad. Wait, hold up. Like, this is gonna be under actor. This to be HATEND effect actor. And I think that's right. Gosh, oh man, I really hope this works. I really, really hope this works. I'm just creating an actor so that when you overlap with it, it gives you an effect. It worked! Yay! There we are. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close this. We're gonna delete these. No need tick. Don't need that. Set this to false because we don't have the tick function anymore. And we're making a sphere for a collision. Okay, object pointer. Use sphere component. Okay, sphere. Yeah, see, usually what I'm used to before I started taking this course is you would just be like, use sphere component, sphere. And then you just go to the constructor and then you create default sub-object. But now you don't do that. You don't do that anymore. Player controller.h. Yeah, so it's not in there. I think it's in. How do we? I forget how we do this. How do we do this? Yeah, see, like in here, we just create a pointer like that. There's no t sub-object. What is it called again? What? How do we? T object pointer. Yeah. I wonder why we didn't do that here. Maybe it should be. Maybe it should be a T object pointer. But anyway. That's the standard. Okay. Yeah, now he does do it here. Okay. Sphere. Let's create default. Sphere. Oh yeah, and we need a static mesh so we can actually see it. Okay, this is going to be a U property because we want to be able to edit that. Visible anywhere? He has it set to visible anywhere. I'm gonna leave it as edit anywhere actually, because I want to be able to edit it in the editor. Okay, T object pointer. So I'm gonna use static mesh component, static mesh. Sometimes the autocorrect is weird. Or sorry, the autocomplete. It just puts that little angle bracket at the end. But we are going to make that have U property because we want to be able to edit that. He also has that visible anywhere. I don't know why. Now we don't need the text macro. Again, I'm used to seeing the text macro being used there in other courses. Steven does not use that. I'm not sure why. Create default subobject, use static mesh component. Oh. I was gonna change that to mesh. And then for sphere. Yeah, we want to set that mesh to be the root component. Set root component. I just feel so tired right now. I feel like. I'm locking in. I'm locking in. Okay, sphere setup time. There we go. I knew exactly what I wanted. The overlap function. We'll make it private. Overlap. Public. He's making it public. Oh, I guess this is kind of a base class of sorts. Okay, so this is going to be... We're saying virtual so that it can be inherited. Virtual void on overlap. It's going to take in... Yeah. You primitive components. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's so much. There's a lot here. Okay. Wow, so he has quite a few. You have index. That's other body index. Bool. B from sweep. I think that's just to tell you. Actually, wait. B from sweep, that should be part of the hit result. Sweep result. Okay. That's a U function. Wow. Okay. For a second, I thought it was inline. It'd be a pain to copy over. Well, not really. It's not a pain to copy, but just to have to type within it that line, the title. Oh, sphere on component begin overlap. Add dynamic. Sure. User objects. Why is this in begin play? Why is it there? I don't understand. 'Cause 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 Hmm. Get a root component. I was looking at this, right? Yeah, sphere on component. Okay, now I'm too warm again. Okay. Well, let's actually look at the... Let's look at this. You guys can't see this. When I hover over this, there's like a giant tooltip. Okay, what does this do? Helper macro to bind a UObject instance and a member UFunction to a dynamic multicast delegate. Okay, well the delegate is for informing classes of each other what is going on. So the whole point of this on overlap function is to, right, you're getting the overlapped component, the other actor, the other component, right? So any effect actor blueprint that we make from this class is going to need to know what the object is that is what the actor is, our player in this case, that is getting overlapped with. It's going to need to know what component on this effect actor is being overlapped with. So basically it just needs to know those two overlapping objects, for lack of a better word. The player and whatever component we choose on the effect actor. I'm not sure what these other ones are. Bool will be from sweep. The sweep results. I'm also not sure what the difference is between those two. But whatever. Wait. Wait a second. Wait. Belongs to... He says it belongs to primitive component. Oh, right, okay. Wait. Whoa, he's doing a lot now. Okay, we have end overlap signature. Okay, I'm just going to copy all these. Yeah, because we have an end overlap to stop applying the gameplay effect. Oh my gosh, I just remember. This is going to be a lot of work, a lot of editing to actually make this any good. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh no. I mean, oh yes, it's going to be so good. You can hardly conceive of the amazingness that will result from this. And oh yeah, and then they put commas in between these because it's how they do that. I guess virtual void on this is gonna be end overlap. So we have all of those. Halfway through. Okay. I'm just gonna remove. I'm gonna this lecture is 24 minutes long. This is just way too long. And I guess okay, I guess I understand it because like it's really hard to make this bite size because there's a lot of explanation that needs to happen. Like first he went to what was the first thing he went to? Yeah, we were in here. No, we were in here, and he wanted to look at this function. Okay, and then he wanted to look at the signature. Okay, so the signature has these associated variables. All right, fair enough. I need to have better posture. Let's just sit up right here. So we're using 6 parameters. Okay, so we're having okay. Let me see if I can explain this as well as he's explaining it. The type is separated from the variable name. The name of the delegate itself. I have no idea what he's saying. I think he's. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh. Okay. I'm I'm starting to put it together. So let's go back here. So we need to use a delegate in order to send over data from the effect actor to the player. The effect actor has some type of effect on it, right? It might decrease health, it could increase intuition, it could increase or decrease some value, And later we're going to change it to actually modify a gameplay tag. We haven't implemented the gameplay tag system yet. Okay. But in order to use this signature right here, this F component begin overlap signature, we need to have these 6 parameters, okay? So the 6 parameters being U primitive component, A actor, U primitive component again. It's a different one, so instead of overlaps component, it's other comp. Int32 other body index, bool B from sweep, and then const F hit result sweep result. So let's count those again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. In order to bind an event to this delegate, and that, remember the delegate is going to, the player should be listening for an event, and then this delegate is going to say, hey, you're listening, right? Do this thing. And then the player, or whatever is receiving it, in this case, I think it's going to be the player state. Maybe it'll be the attribute set, actually. It's going to be like, oh yeah, okay, let's do whatever you tell me to do. And in this case, it's going to be decrease health, increase intuition, whatever we put on that effect actor. Okay, this is making more sense to me. But then he was also saying that these are like also part of the signature somehow. Okay, hold on. Hold on, I'm just gonna zoom through. Okay, so right. To bind to the end overlap signature, we only need 4 parameters. So if we go back to this, you'll note that we only have 4 parameters here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means we will be able to bind to that signature. On component end overlap. So when I just copied and pasted this whole thing, including these first 2, this is actually the name of the function itself, I think. Right. Right. So this is a function that's bound to that signature. Okay. I'm not sure what U primitive component is about though. When we had, I'm not sure what that's there, but we don't need it. Okay, I understand that a little bit better now. A lot better actually, comparatively. Okay. 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 And then in begin play, we're doing the same. So sphere on component. Let's see. We're actually gonna just say and overlap And then it should autocomplete for us on, except on end overlap. So I'm going to look for end overlap again. Pretty sure that's the correct name. Yep, okay. I'm going to delete that because I don't need that anymore. Okay. Mm. Right. Oh. So these getters are not only for getting the ability system component or attribute set on the player state itself, because I think we do use it here, don't we? Yeah, we use it right there. We can also use it for the effect actor. So looks like our effect actor is going to be making use of this interface, because on here we want to check to see if our other actor is if it has an ability system component, so that we can, when we try to apply the gameplay effect or an attribute change, it's not like an invalid function. That wasn't very technical, but I think you can understand. Okay, so in here, right, okay, we're making a pointer. Is that right? Ah, autocomplete was correct. Okay. So we're checking to make sure it's valid. Now we're just going to look through that ability system component. Get the attribute set. Buttons. Any other parameters? And then the ability system component. U attribute set. Static class. Wait. Okay, so to the end of that, he adds a scope resolution operator called static class. What does this do? I'm not sure. Wow, that is a long line. Okay. So this, whoops, this whole thing. Wait. We're gonna cast U HATEND attribute set to this whole thing. Wow. Wait. ASC interface. Get system component. Okay, I do not like it going past that line, so. Okay. And I'm gonna use bathroom one more time. I'll be right back. And I'm back. All right. Oh my gosh. This line is so long. U HATEND attribute set called HATEND attribute set. Oh, whoops. Autocomplete removed the cast. Okay. Cannot initialize local variable. What's our issue here? He's going to address it, but I want to see if I can do this. Cannot initialize local variable. HATEND. Okay. Okay. We are casting to this to see if it's of the type U HATEND attribute set. Okay. Wait. Wait, hold on. Oh. Okay. So get attribute. Okay, so from this we can see attribute set does belong to ability system component. Okay. So that's kind of the hierarchy there. Okay, so this returns a const. So we can't assign a const variable to a non-const variable. They have to make them of the same type. Hmm. Wait a second. Why is this here? Local variable can be made pointer to const. Should we do that? He doesn't make it const. I'm gonna leave that for now. Yeah. No reason to risk it for the biscuit. I'm actually, it's actually way too long. Oh, okay. We're going to get the, okay. Yeah. I like to try to cut it off sometime before it reaches this line, just so it's easier to read. That's why I don't zoom in too much. Oh, that's nice. It makes it hard for you guys to see though, because then my stupid face is blocking it. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. But yeah, anyways, I like to try to cut it off sometime before here so that the next line is relevant. Like, oh, yeah, the whole point of these two lines is we're getting the ability system component, we're getting the attribute set, and we are making sure that it's of a static class, I guess. Returns a reference to the attribute set instance. Oh, right, because the ability system component could have multiple attribute sets. So we are getting the HATEND attribute set specifically. Okay. Yeah. So this is, yeah. Because my tendency is to stop focusing after like the first half. But if we just have it here, then we're like, oh yeah, it's basically this right here. I mean, this is like about as long as the first one, but whatever. Okay, anyway. Reset, resetting health. Did I not did I not put setters on there? Okay, I could have sworn it will not let me set health. That is kind of weird. Set health. Not the attribute set. Get health. And then, yeah, so this is like a very, very bad way of doing this. It's not modular right now. It's just introducing how changes take effect. So we're not using gameplay tags or anything, which is like the most scalable way, but yeah. Okay, yeah, so this, right. So this right here is the same as that. And since it's const, it means that we can't change anything about it. That's what the const is for. It's a protector. It means we want it to stay the same. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so we're gonna remove the const modifier. Continue. Like this too. For now, using a okay. I think that's right. Yeah, it does that weird thing at the end. Mutable. Mutable hot. Okay, so we have that, and then I'm gonna change that there. Okay. So we're basically okay. This line is supposed to remove the const modifier. Can I add a little comment? Removes const modifier. What does a const cast do? There's really no tooltip. Okay. Hmm. Okay, there's 6 minutes left in this lecture. Let's see if we can finish this before end of stream. It'd be amazing if we could. Oh yeah, and then destroy. Destroy, okay. Okay, we're still compiling. Still. What are we doing here? We're not building? Okay, it just built. Okay. I'm going to bring up the editor here then. Okay. So now you guys should be able to see it in just a second here. Please. There we go. Okay. Man, it's so finicky. Anyway, we are going to, let's see. I'm going to make a new folder called, sorry about the black screen. I'm going to make a new folder called items. And in there, I just shook my whole desk. And in there, we are going to make a blueprint based on the effect actor. And this is going to be BP underscore health potion. And it's not really going to be the health potion that you have in game. It's just an example for applying a gameplay effect. Okay, so for mesh, let's give this some kind of mesh. Doesn't really matter too much to me. I'll make it a Make it a cone. Cones are fun. Cones are super cool. Actually, I don't want that. I don't want that to be a cone. I want this to be a sphere. Again, sorry about the black screen. Holy moly. Sphere radius. We want it to just barely encompass it. Right there. Oh, beautiful. Nice. Okay, line thickness. Let's make it fairly thick, just so it's more visible. Make that an even 10. Compile. Save. See, normally when I save, it would just be like a little pop-up right over here. But instead it takes up the entire screen for some reason. Okay. I'm going to place that in the world. Press play. Oh, I'm going to actually Control-Shift-S. Always save before playing the game. Well, my frame rate is kind of low for my OBS preview. I don't know why. Okay, we're going to do show debug ability system. And we see health is at 50, max health is at 100, intuition 50, max intuition 100. Now let's see what happens when we overlap with the actor. We can't overlap with it. Ah, interesting. That's probably because of our collision setting. Okay, let's see here. Block all dynamic. Overlap. Overlap all dynamic. Gosh, this is kind of dumb. There's got to be a better source for capturing Unreal Engine. Okay, I'm going to play. I'm going to save, and then I'm going to play, actually, because I'm very smart. And actually, show debug. Show debug ability system. We're going to, so same values as before. Boom. Health is up to 75, and it destroyed itself. Just like we wanted. And that, okay. Nice. That's what we wanted. Okay. Okay, now he's just explaining a bunch of other stuff I do not care about. No offense. Okay. Wonderful work, everybody. Oh my gosh, that was stressful. It's not even supposed to be stressful. It's just is. Okay, anyways, I'm going to switch over to our control rig branch. So we have a bunch of changes there, but I don't care about those right now. I'm just going to switch over. Whoops. I messed up. I messed up a little bit. It's okay. I should not have had my Unreal Editor open when I tried to switch branches. That's okay though. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to control rig. Leave my changes there. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to just open that right back up again. Okay, wonderful. Let's switch back. And 10 changes. Okay, I import again. Is that going to break my project? It keeps asking me that every time. Okay. Sure, I'm going to import, I guess. And then I'm going to cancel, and it's just going to do it anyway. I don't think you guys could even see those pop-ups, but whatever. Doesn't matter. We're actually going to, we have to simulate. I forgot about that. So remember all the cool stuff our Scorpion can do? Well, why the heck is it jittery? No way. Did we lose progress? I'm gonna be so mad if it... Tutorial content. Okay, for this I'm just gonna... Oh my gosh. OBS is actually just the worst. This should not be happening. Why is this so stupid? It's so dumb. Okay. It's a good day. It's a great day. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Character blueprint. We are looking for the control rig that we made. Where is it? Where's the control rig? I'm gonna search for it. Here we go. Okay, so we have all of our functions there. Why is it so jittery though? Maybe it goes on top of there. Oh, it's because we have snapping on. Oh. Yeah. So when we have snapping on, you see how it's moving by 10 units each time. If we have it set to like 100. Yeah, okay. It's because, yeah, it's because in that's a setting that gets carried over, I would suppose. We're going to turn snapping off. What happens if we bring it all the way up into the sky? Doesn't matter. Just goes right back. Okay. So this next lecture is called Porting the Procedural Animation System to Another Character. Okay. Oh. Yeah, so if we wanted to have similar movement but on a different character, then what did he give us the example? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this right here. So open that up. Oh. Okay. Nah, I should have stopped playing. There we go. My computer is working a little bit harder because of that. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, let's look at this skeleton here. Excuse me. Man, everything is happening today. Yeah, so here's what it looks like. So it kind of looks like a dream crab from Doctor Who. Well, there's actually something else more similar. I just can't think of what it is. Where have I seen this before? I'm sure I've seen that before. Also, there's something wrong with it. Where's the skeletal mesh? There's something wrong with the textures. Anyway. Yeah, that's it right there. Whatever. Okay. Okay. So I guess you couldn't, yeah. What we're trying to do right now is just port this control rig over to this guy. And the reason that we're doing it to this guy is because he's mostly similar, right? He's scorpionoid, you might say, because he might not have 6 legs, but he has an abdomen that's parallel with the ground and legs that move up and down and forward. Okay. Yeah, so let's see here. Skeletal mesh. Where is this? Okay. Control C. Oh yeah, we're gonna just move it there. Or copy, actually. Yeah, here it is. Wait. Wait, what? They have the same name. Tutorial. I'm just gonna call this monster. Okay. We're deleting this entire thing, I guess. Wait a second. Hmm. Real. I'm sure you guys couldn't see that, so I'll just explain it. Wait. It's not even. What is even happening right now? It's not. It's not showing you guys at all what's going on. I swear, man, this is so freaking buggy. Okay. There you go. So basically, we made this this control rig for a scorpion, and I copied it over to this folder, which is for this monster. I don't think you guys even saw it. I'll show you it up close again. Black screen again. Okay. So this is what it looks like. Again, keep in mind everything I said before. It's got an abdomen facing the ground and legs that move up and down and forward. Or in the move direction, whatever the move direction might be. It's going to have some similar behavior, so it will work. We just need to change what bones are referenced. So I copied over the control rig, and wow, black screen again. So this is the tutorial monster that is for this, and I just deleted all of the. Wait a second. I deleted all of the bones for the scorpion, and then I imported the bones for the monster, the four-legged monster. Okay. Oops. Mm-hmm. Right. So leg 1 end, leg 2 end, leg 3 end, leg 4 end. Wait, delete. Okay, I'm just gonna switch back to window capture. Wow, that is. It doesn't actually show the tab that I'm in though. This is so retarded. I'm sorry, I don't know why that is not working. You know, it's worked before too, so I swear it's worked before. I've seen. I'm just gonna turn on display capture. No. Whatever. Screw it. So what are these called again? Leg 1 end. So we have leg 1 end. This is leg 2 end. Then we have leg 3 end. And leg 4 end. So now the cycling is going off, as you can see. So the blinking off means that's when it's, I mean, you get the idea. It's pretty much the same warning. What is this? Okay, we're gonna need to figure that out. That looks like it's the only error though. Details. Okay, keep watching here. Okay. So he's just doing the same thing I did, replacing them. Nope, nothing. That's probably. Oh, okay. Oh. I see. Okay. Body set. Oh, right. And then this is no longer valid. So this is going to be set to base. And then we're going to delete those two. And body segment large. Again, that's going to be set to base. Name. What's wrong with this? Array. Index 4 out of bounds. Whoops. Okay. So that is actually compiles. Okay. Let's see what Lincoln does here. Yeah, so to be clear, why I deleted these was we only have 4 legs, so index 4 and 5 don't exist because there was an index for each of the legs. And then plus the base, I guess, the abdomen. So we gotta figure out how to remove these though, because I think we could just be gone with those. So I'm gonna delete that. And delete that. Beautiful. Actually gonna and it crashed. Well, okay. Oh, wow. That is super buggy. Good thing I saved. At least I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, I'm gonna freaking lose it. I swear, if it crashes... Okay, good. Wait, I don't need that. Okay, so we just need to delete 4 and 5. Well, it's gonna be 4 and then 4 again. I'm gonna just move this up right there. Nice and neat. Okay. I'm gonna just... Okay. 5 more minutes. We can do this. Oh yeah, foot timing offset. We'll need to change that. Because... Right, yeah, so let's delete those. So we're gonna have... We have this split. Okay, I'm gonna use 0.2... 0. Actually... 0.25... 0.5... and then 0.75. Splitting it into fourths effectively. Yeah, so there's some of these things that we need to change, like... No, that's actually fine right there. We had to change foot names, obviously. Well, we had to change this just now. We may change... No, we actually won't change that. Swing percent, we might change that to see how much of the time it's actually swinging. Calculated. No, that's not it. Nope. Yeah, so a few of these. Yeah, so then we need to create a blueprint and an animation blueprint. So I'm gonna copy and paste one here, and this is going to be BP underscore Samurai Schultz tutorial monster. Beautiful. Okay, and we don't need input actions. They don't matter right now. They just do not matter. What matters is this mesh right here. We have the sphere overlap component. Or sorry, this just sphere collision. There's a camera attached to it as well. But then we also need to make one of these. BP. Oh, wait. Yep. Oh. I guess I could have copied some stuff over. Let's go back here. I'm gonna open this up. Go to event graph. We actually don't have anything in the event graph. I think we did before, but not anymore, yes. Okay. Weird. Oops, anyway. Let's just... We're so close to being done here. We're so close. Right, where's our anim graph? I'm gonna reopen that. Nope, shush. I can do this. Oh, right there. Duh. Okay, so we do have control rig. Okay, that's good. Where is our control rig class? Where's that control rig class? Here we go. Okay. This is going to be monster. It's going to have the... Yeah, right there. Perfect. Oh, we even saw a little bit of movement. Super cool. Okay. Mm. Okay, we're having some errors here. I'm just going to close that. I'm going to reopen it and see if we still have those problems. Okay, fine now. BP underscore is this tutorial monster. That's because of the inputs. Doesn't matter. We're not going to be using those. Completed. That doesn't matter either. Okay. Play an editor. Wow. That is spooky. Oh, gotta turn rotation snapping off. That is so cool. Whee! Now we do have a problem with it going too fast, but we can increase the probably some variables to make that better. Okay. Super cool. I think that's about it. I'm just gonna finish out this lecture here. Nice. Okay, let's actually double check. Let's go to the landscape test level. Yes, whoops, I should have canceled that first. Anyway, we've got alternate monster mesh. That's the completed one. I don't want that. Okay, beautiful. Let's move this around. Let's see if it works as expected here. So it's gripping onto the side. Oh man, that's really neat. And then we have this big hill over here. I want to test. I'm going to test that out. Get a better angle. It's struggling a little bit. And there is some offset that can build up. You can see that it's getting further and further away. But then I get over and I can bring it back to the center by doing this kind of motion. Wow, that is really cool. And I guess the material rendered properly because it wasn't doing that in here. But anyway, yeah, his next lecture is changing variables for that character. Let's see. But man, that is neat. That's super cool. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it off there. Thank you so much for watching and enduring all of my complaints and everything. But yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow, usual time, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And again, I'm really considering changing that time to 3 to 5, just so it works a little bit better for me. But let me know what you guys think. I kind of had that in mind for people who might have, I have that time, that original time in mind for people who might work late on a Friday night, or do the typical 9 to 5. So if that's something that does not work, speak now or forever hold your peace. So anyways, Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Farewell.